Alright. Hello, 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 hey peeps. We're gonna get a little bit of Waifu Wars before the end of the night here. We had a bunch of games this afternoon that I was not around to cover, so I'm gonna try to do a replay stream sometime soon. Probably either Sunday or Monday. Depends on how quickly I finish all of the laddering I want to do this weekend. I want to get my Jessica skin and so on. Yeah. Let's get our link posted in Discord. Yeah, here we go. We've got Fire versus Donbran. Yeah, so Team Elise versus Team Young Jessica. This will be interesting. So Donbran's running pretty similar box to when he fought me. I think it might be the same hero for hero. I'm not quite sure. Fire's running something a little bit more tank pushy than some of his other matches. He's got 4 tanks in it and quite a few healers. And Young Jessica herself is a pretty solid healer. I think it's interesting that Donbran banned Tiaris. I think that's going to come back to haunt him, because I think Fire potentially has a pretty strong Kyra pick for off-healing versus some of these AoEs, like the Olivier, the Kaguya, the Mariandel, the Shelf, the Agnes, while also being a strong DPS threat. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. I think the Christie's going to give Elise a lot of problems. And Nymph isn't that strong with a second pick. Hey, Risker. Oh, no sound? I was just being quiet, I think. The game should have some sound. Or maybe your Twitch is muted? Wow, we've got... Donbran's ban pick is really weird. Really weird. The Luna is strange. He hasn't picked like a strong DPS carry yet. I mean, I guess Elise is the idea, but like, you're playing versus Christy, right? Christy plus a healer, because Young Jessica is a full-fledged healer. She's arguably one of the best healers in the format, I would say. Because she can heal twice, which is something almost no one else in the format can do. It's like Mariandel, Almeida, Licorice, and Young Jessica, basically. Olivier hits hard, but he's got a Christiane aura, you know? That's range damage reduction, crit down, all that stuff. I really think that this is a tough one for Donbran with this draft. Especially because like he's not gonna get a tank or anything, so the Young Jessica and Gitz can just play snipe. Not really Young Jessica. If she's playing healer, then she can't bring single target, but the Gitz and whatever he takes here, Luke or TJS. Oh, he takes a second heat tank. That's a little defensive, but it's fine, I guess. Yeah, it's got to be a Riser problem. So he grabs a Luke last, and we do have the Mac pick. Yeah, I don't know. I think Donbran went overkill the enablers here. Yeah, I mean, bite and bit, that's always been a problem, is you have to have 4 tanks in this format if you want to tank push. It's just a strict requirement. Sometimes you can get away with like Agnes and 3 tanks, because Agnes against a lot of heroes is a tank. But it's rough out there without the Agnes. You kind of have to play fast and aggressive, or have 4 tanks, or be able to flex to faster aggressive or tank push. And I'm glad you have been given the gift of hearing, Rice Crew. Sorry, Loon. Young Jess is cool, but she is not as cool as Best Jess. She's better than Lowly Jess, of course. It's better, but not best. You said it yourself. Better than Lowly Jess, not best. Best Jess is my own Jessica, who I'm about to get a hot new skin for tomorrow. Gitz has deck gunners. She'll be fine. Gitz hits like a mofo. She can solo carry this game with Young Jessica and tanks keeping her alive. Let's see if he brings deck gunners. He does not. Ooh. Yeah, I agree that Donbran doesn't really have a win con in any sense. So he goes single target on Mariandel, actually. Who I think is 6 stars. Yeah, that looks like full 6 stars talent. Interesting he went for the single target. Mac brought Air Slash and 3C. No attack buff then. Where's his attack buff? Where's Elise's attack buff in this draft? Neither. Ooh. I wonder if this is like sleepy time for Donbran and he's making some sus choices. I do think it was a mistake not to put deck gunners on Gitz. It's going to make it harder to get your kills through the Luna. I don't even care about like the Luna. That was always going to be a tough target. But killing the other stuff gets a lot easier when you have physical troops, you know? Not that these are particularly bulky heroes, especially because like the Elise did not bring angels or anything. Um, so the Mariandel has pretty respectable MDef, so that'll be a tough target in the Luna, but I think everything else, maybe the Nymph, these two are certainly up for grabs though. He brought holy troops on Luke. These troops are strong. Um, they're just not physical, but they're strong. They're a nice upgrade for her in all honesty. The pre-heal combat effect is really good. And they have similar like damage performance to fairies. Maybe Donbran's Elise is just gonna clock like every time she uses her. Oh, never mind. Yeah, yeah, they are. The pre-heal is nice against AoE for sure. I was like practicing like a regular meta Apex match for the first time in a while. Um, and I had them on like my Ilia, and it was nice like versus a messy AoE comp to have that pre-combat heal. I really wish they'd given them to Aaliyah. Aaliyah kind of got hosed with her troops, to be honest. She's got expedition archers, which are good, but no deck gunners. None of these guys, which is sad. Like fairies and expeditions is fine, but it's not crazy, you know. I want those deck gunners, man. They're OP. For anyone else that's been testing the Ilia damage with deck gunners on terrain, it's wild. Okay, so we've got the early Nymph 3C. This is gonna put me to sleep. I'm already a little tired anyways. So it's not Night Bloom. Also not exclusive, it looks like. Otherwise, I think we would see like the trigger be faster or something. Like something pops up when it's exclusive. Yeah, I'm ready to go to sleep. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I get like a little congested and stuff like that at night. Um, like when I'm tired. So like that's how I can tell I'm like ready for bed soonish. My eyes get red and my sinuses and stuff get congested. So I do think this is Donbran has switched up his Elise gear. He's been running exclusive, or sorry, Spirit Boots BB a fair number of games. Oh, maybe it is actually. The attack just looked high because of the talent activation. But no, that does still look like Spirit Boots BB, which is not gonna be cutting it versus these tanks. And that doesn't mean it's not routing light to try to disable them or anything, which was always my weapon of choice when I used Elise. Um, it didn't come up very often in like regular Apex because Liana and Rose and Seal and stuff were always running around, but like so I'm actually one of those guys that drinks like a lot of water. I've got like one of those big ass 40-ounce water bottles and I drink that and some extra water like every day. So here comes an AoE, but Young Jess is just gonna heal this right off. He's got his Wind Blooms, he's got the Mass Seal and Divine Right, so like I don't think he even needs to use his act again here. He should move before he heals. Save it for later. Okay, Divine Rights, that's fine too. She gets it back so quickly. Like, it's gonna have 1 turn of cooldown. So she could literally do this again next turn if she wants. Like, young Jessica is a healing machine. I actually think she's a better healer than Mariandel. Because young Jessica has an unbelievable amount of healing sustain, whereas Mariandel does not if you're not clocking. Yep, it's a huge difference from that cast. It's 4 cooldown versus 1 on Divine Right. You know, it's huge. Of course, talking with Wind Blooms. Without the Wind Blooms, it's 5, which is insane. But 4 versus 1 or 5 versus 3 is, or versus 2 is nuts. So this is probably a dead Elise. Yep. So Luke is gonna try what, the Mac? The Mary. I don't think this will kill. I guess she's out of the Luna Ore actually, so it'll kill. Yeah, she's fine. It's 4 away, not 3 away. Like the Mary was. GG, that's game 1. That was a rough ban pick. That was really, really rough. Hopefully Donbran's got things figured out a little bit better now, because that was not going to go well for him. Let's see. Is there a reason I can't, like, see an eyeball for game 2 here? Did they quit? There it is. I don't know. So the thing is, Donbran's box is mostly AoE. It's really not a single target box. You got the Mac, but otherwise it's mostly single target, or sorry, AoE, and like the Mac is there as an enabler, really, you know. Like he plays the BB Spirit Boots Elise, which is, you know, if you're playing that, it's because you want to play AoE. But he's fighting against young Jessica is the problem. Yeah, we've got our classic lava map gaming. I think this is once again, it's going to be tough unless Donbran tries a different tactic and ban pick here. It's kind of funny that Loon is the first seed, but his young Jessica is like terribly built, and Fire has a fully legit young Jessica here to run. But Loon is gonna bully all of us anyways, so it's fine. But like a properly built young Jessica is a ridiculously good healer. I've been sharding mine, but Rachel's my next side project, I think, for Waifu Wars, like to finish sharding. She's like 5 stars and like 60 or 70 shards or something. She's getting shards again now. I paused her for a little bit to work on the sisters and get my Enya to 5, but now I'm good to go again on my Rachel. So I think she'll be coming in either later in this season or next season, and then hopefully young Jessica not long after that. I just need to make every unit in the box be able to DPS and heal, right? That's the dream. And then Gory. So he subs in a Joshua, he throws in a Freya. Okay. Throws out the Ashmar, Olivier, Angelina. I think the Angelina drop makes sense on this map. It's hard to get like good pushes and stuff here. Joshua's a pretty solid AoE DPS, so he is going for the AoE tactic again. Freya's just to get him up to 4 tanks so he can't get banned tankless. On the fire side, we've got Pepsi, who is his pick one, comes out for the Grand Chill, who's also pick one, that's fine. Aries swaps for Shugler, that's also fine. Okay. Cool. Yeah, man. I was thinking about like if you use like if you're a Breeze Salic gamer, right? I built mine Crystal because that's just using Bard here. But like if you're a Breeze Salic enjoyer and you just use your armor affinity stacks in yourself, that's a hero with 5 range, 5 range, and then or 5 move, and then 4 attack range. Turn 2. That's really long range, and that's without even using anything like Boots or Scepter. Like you could do full damage build like that. And just give yourself your guaranteed breeze. Or 75% breeze or whatever, you know. Because you wouldn't be able to use the 3C yet, right? If you want to be able to go turn 2. But, like, that's super good. Yeah, I think she can kill a lot of non-tanks just fine. Yeah, sorry Zepita, man. I just don't believe on the lava. I don't know how you get your girl around here. To get a good push with all that terrain. Plus, I think he's correctly realizing that he needs like a heavy payload win con to grab, which, you know, the Saintess and the Joshua can do with their debuffs and damage, respectively. The Joshua's just pretty good Tekken against the young Jessica. He genuinely does a lot of damage versus mages. Gonna be sleepy time soon. I think I'll probably get head to bed after this match. I'll try to do replays like either Sunday or Monday or something, yeah. Not gonna do any tonight. Too tired. Okay, so we get the IVC pick. That's interesting. She doesn't really work that well with young Jessica. So with the IBC Breeze, young Jessica will be able to move a couple spaces after her transform, which is nice. But you're not really getting any use out of that soldier buff. IBC has to take unicorns for mobility, but then their damage is bad on this map. Yeah, I guess the Kyra pickup is nice. I think his banning this TR is too high. He banned it too high last game as well. She's not a good healer. I do like the Agnes pickup, and it's good preemptively against the Kyra that he gave. Because Kyra has no way to kill through Agnes Revive. It's pretty good against these one and done sins. Unlike Omega or anything, it's not blocking her jump back, but it could buy some time. And then Luna's gonna make Kyra kills very dicey. I probably would have picked a real DPS though. Agnes is a pretty decent DPS, but I would have grabbed probably the Joshua or Kaguya or something. Maybe the Shelf, just because if you're not taking the Luna there. I guess, okay, I guess I do actually understand the reasoning on the Luna, right? She's your Princess buff, and you've got 3 high-quality AoE DPS left. Shelf's not that high quality, but she can probably get in with the Luna enable. But all 3 of these are Princess that can get enabled by the Luna to go in and hit hard, do their thing. So I actually do understand that a little bit better there. Fire grabs the Christie for the damage reduction aura, so he has the Kyra reactive heal, Christie magic damage down versus a magic AoE draft, and Young Jessica healing. But it does mean he has 2 tanks against an AoE team. But I think this stuff will have to hit really hard for this to work out for Donbran. I'll be back in just a second. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, rip Rice Crew with the Agnes Wanter who did not get her. You're too late, Loon. I'm already back. Your revolution has failed. Beheadings for all of you. We already had Puelahala chop off Meow's ego, right? With the Moo killing Meow, so there's already been one upset. For anyone who did not catch the Meow versus Puelahala game, do yourself a favor and watch it. It should be on Wallian's stream from a couple days ago. One of my favorite Waifu Wars games, period, full stop. Hilarious. Was that on... It was on Puelahala's, I think, not on mine. Or, sorry, on Wally's stream. I think that was when I raided his chat. Ooh, he does the Luna enable early. I think he does run plushie, so it's not like gonna disappear or anything, but that is fast. Because it's not like the stuff's gonna reach right away, even with that. Not on this map. So he does grab his AoEs on Elise this time. And yeah, the Luna's nice attack buff for these two. We're gonna do the real heavy lifting here. Elise is not picking up an attack buff, so her damage is not gonna be great. But in order to, like, do a revolution, you have to, like, do damage, right? You have to break up the establishment, and I don't think Elise can do enough damage to destroy the establishment. You know? I think the Cav Elise does do a fair bit more damage. If you don't run Potato Build, but Donbran runs Super Potato Build. Clock, AoE, Clock, Spirit Boots, BB. On a hero whose exclusive is designed to desperately fix her massive damage problem. So I guess I should take a look at setup here, right? So we've got double big AoE on Shelf. Got double AoE Agnes. We've got the chain hook on Alusha, not her AoE. Both are legit. The silence on the AoE can actually be really respectable, especially if Fire's not Bracer, which he's not, because this is the only source of active healing here. Kyra has a little bit on her 3C, but otherwise not a lot of dispel, so I think the silence AoE could have been pretty devastating. Like if you use your 3C and then get up close enough that your aura puts them in water for the AoE to then silence, it's strong. But he went for Chain Hook, and yeah, Elise was Angels. This tanks single target from Kyra very comfortably. The Conjurer is probably due to, if the Kyra is not 2-star, let's check that. It's not. Yeah, with the Luna that'll tank. Yeah, okay, let's take a look at Fireside. So we've got the Phalanx, that's whatever, it's Christie. I think she could go Fangs, but it's fine. Single target's not a big play here, so I just think it's better mobility. Got healer Young Jess, San Kyra with not T-Star, some mysterious int accessory. And IBC with mass attack. I do think with the Luna Aura, even with the IBC buff, Kyra is going to massively fail kills with these anti-magic troops and the Luna Aura. The only one who's sus is the Agnes, who's also the one that the Kyra most wants to kill in the first place. It defends from her hero ticks. It doesn't defend against the faceless, so I think that Agnes is in some danger. Because dwarves are not a remotely tanky troop, right? So even through the Luna Aura, I think your dwarves will die pretty fast to the Kyra hero ticks, and then the physical troop ticks are going to come in and hit the Agnes, who is not a high defense Agnes. I used to be a big proponent of running like super tanky Agnes back when she launched, because the meta she released into was like super sin heavy. So like tanking Lawsome was pretty relevant for her. So I like back this was at 5 casting. My Agnes had like 1100 defense with a defense buff. And I ran Dark Robe, I think is the one that gives you extra damage or defense versus range attacks. Like my Agnes was full bulk, no int. I don't think that build makes the most sense in Life Wars, just bring up a point that it's low defense here. The Super Potato, the Full Moon Bracer, no int on multiple gear pieces build. Yeah. But she did tank stuff. She really did. Then I was about to say no breeze for release, but we got the Luna and she can't breeze. It's like she can AoE Kyra next turn, but also it's AoE and Kyra is like negative gain or best neutral. She does do like what is a defense break, I think. So that's I guess a thing. Yeah. It's like Agnes can go do Horny Bonk, but like it doesn't do anything because Young Jessica heals for free. I think this is a hard team to AoE against. She's a really strong healer. Unless you're playing like one-shot AoE type strategies, which is a thing. Like the Ares Vincent type stuff. It's lame, but it is legit. That can work. But chip strats are not super good against her. Maybe Shelf will do funny spells. We'll see. If Elise like did some dispel with this AoE or something, she'd be so much better. So what is Kyra's actual reach? Bedrock is 2 cost? Whoops. Not me hitting the minus button instead of the terrain. 2 1 cost for infantry, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think mountain is 2. So 6, 7, 8. Okay. So just Elise with Angels and Luna Aura and with tank. It's the last turn of the Luna 3C. I don't know if he's gonna go in like guns blazing with Shelf or what. Well, fire smacks the Alusha. I don't know how much good that's gonna do. Oh, and the ice too. That's bad. So Elise kills Kyra, runs onto Key, runs back. That was so needless. So to Moby down, you'd have to use 3C, and then to hit the Kyra, you'd have to basic. And she absolutely 100% is whiffing that basic. Elise's 3C is strong. It's a strong skill. All of her damage is loaded into the 3C's defense ignore. She just has a 20% attack talent. That's it. She gets minor, like, generic DI from picking up a key, I guess, but, like, her E is unit damage for a reason. But yeah, that was a pretty big misplay from Fire. That was super unnecessary risk. You're hitting an Alucia in an aura. And the Faceless are going to do 0 damage against Alucia. So this gets a little bit more dubious. It's not over, but it's more annoying. Young Jess can do a little bit of AoE damage, but it's going to be low into the Luna. Same. IBC's single target won't be atrocious. She can probably kill the Alucia even through Luna Aura, but it's going to be slow going. And if IBC doesn't clock, it's going to take forever. And Donbran will start wailing on him with Shelf. We'll see if Donbran overplays his hand or anything. But I think it's his game to lose at this point. You can clock the IPC's skills pretty fast with the Young Jessica. Doing double wind blooms, like, somewhat often. It'll be single wind blooms sometimes, but... Yeah, I'm with you there, Zepto. There is a fogging possibility because Donbran is being so slow to move into center. But eating turn after turn of Shelf and Agnes AoE is going to hurt. Young Jessica can only heal once per turn. He's got 2 strong AoEs per turn, with very short cooldowns. I do think Donbran needs to start moving up, though. I will also say it is worth noting that neither Agnes or Luna are guarded right now from IBC. Okay, yeah, he moves the Alucia up. Not that IBC should go for that, but just a note. I do actually think he should go defense stance IBC next chance he gets, because the run back helps a lot. And you can still do this healing breakdown. This Christie's gonna have so much trouble getting in with these failings. Although you could probably set up a pretty effective body block down here because Donbran's committed his team to going bottom by moving the Alicia. So at least does the decent damage versus the infantry IBC. I didn't really even take note of that. Better versus the IBC. Or sorry, better versus like the Agnes and stuff, but worse versus the Elise in this case. I think he's forced to heal now, or IBC dies. The talent effect only heals troops. She can heal her hero with her 2C as like a global heal, but he couldn't bring that this game because he needed the mass attack. Ooh, I think that was a chance for Fire to kill the IBC right there with the Agnes Pleiades. I think he should have taken that. That seems unnecessarily defensive to me. I guess you can still get like a nice combo going though, right? Like you Pleiades, Young Jessica heals, Shelf AoEs, Agnes bonks, and it's a lot of damage again. You can maybe wait a turn to heal, but I don't know, it's a little sus. The problem is the IBC health. Also, Elise did actually clock, so. I wonder if Donbran's gonna prove to be another one of those Rice Crew types where, like, he just always gets his clocks. I feel like he's had pretty good luck with it. And he got his ice earlier with the Alicia. Like a game-winning ice. Okay, he just moves the IBC back. Here comes Shelf. This should kill. Not quite. 282. But Young Jessica can't fully heal this. It's just gonna keep going. She actually would heal a little bit more doing a mass heal and then a divine right there. You don't actually need to use the 1C, but she gets, I was gonna say a reasonable amount of HP healed, but not really. The IBC is still in trouble. You kind of needed the heal twice there. He is doing nothing to get around this incoming Christie body block, though. She's about to move on to this magma here. And the fog is closing in. And Shelf's on cooldown next turn. Elise did once again clock. Agnes still has a hammer, but after that she's, you know, kind of on downtime next turn. And Fire does have turn prio, and he does have double healing ready. No, he doesn't, because he used the divine right. Never mind. So Fire made an ill-advised kind of random poke against the Alicia when there was kind of nothing going on. Neither team was particularly close to each other, and he got iced. Um, so she couldn't jump back, just stuck, at least punished, ran back. It was pretty game-losing random attack. I might have moved up with the Christie. Yeah, he just needed to let the game turn into this and just keep the Kyra close and then just start, take out the Agnes first with the Kyra and then you kind of just fog him out or you start chipping him down because he doesn't have real healing once the Agnes is gone. With like young Jessica, Divine Rates, and then Kyra kill the chipped stuff. Because like you're not killing through the Luna with Kyra, but you are killing through chip. So this isn't gonna kill because of that Christie flower. But I do still think he should have waddled up a space with the Christie. Because you could have done that and flowered. Oh, you can Divine Right again instead of Mass Heal here. Because he untransformed for that act again. That'll help reduce the EE act again cooldown too. So he gets it back soonish. So cooldown wise, AoE wise, it's just Police this turn. With a little bit of a breather. Ooh, goodbye. I think this is the Bond of Arashi Christie, but he is making a play to stun it. No he's not. It's not EE. Keep forgetting this is not EE. He needs to push this Christie forward. His only win con here is Fog. And young Jessica can slide into guard here next turn. All of his units can slide right in now with the Luna there. Donbran not moving up though. Elisa's exclusive makes her stun enemies that are on her keys when she attacks them. It's not contingent on the stun. That's a separate thing. Okay, you can still plug. I just think he should have blocked this space. This space is one of the most important tiles on this map. I just think he should have blocked it last turn. I guess he wants to save the young Jessica action for later in the turn to heal up. Oof, there goes the infantry IVC. At least does finally not clock, but it's like too late. Did she still guard? She did not still guard. Okay. Honestly, I don't think Fire could even win to Fog at this point, just because he can't kill this Luna. So she'll just sit in the middle of the map, not taking any damage. Yeah, Loon, these two tiles, man. These two tiles, like, control the end game. Nobody ever does top. I've never had, like, a... I don't know about you guys. Have you guys ever had, like, a lava game revolve around the top of the map? For some reason, it's always the bottom. Like, that the bulk of the play happens. Am I the only one who's had that be the case? I feel like all of my lava endgames are bottom oriented, you know? Yeah, GG. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know why my games always skew bottom, because it's not like a boat map where it's actually different and not mirrored on top to bottom, like the one boat map that you got the train on the top and nothing on the bottom. Yeah, I'm pretty sleepy. I'm gonna shut my map yap soon. Theoretically, it's the same. It's mirrored. I've just found that I tend to go bottom. Maybe because it's easier for P1 to go bottom and P1 kind of dictates the pacing and positioning more. I don't know. Too late for me to think about all that stuff. I'll shut stream down there. I'll do some ladder streaming tomorrow. Um, trying out both sisters in box. I'm going to be high picking my pretty solidly built Ilya, hopefully to victory. I think I'm on Frigg or something right now, but it's like, let's flex real quick, right? Before I go to bed, we've got to get the flex. Oh yeah. Right. But yeah, I'm gonna be playing some Ilya and Aaliyah tomorrow. She's pretty well built too. I don't think Draupnir is my accessory of choice, but it's got a good enchant, and she needs the int because she's 4-star. Yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow or Sunday or Monday or whenever I do the replay stream.